Don't rush the process is the theme for today. I drew theme cards from The Secret Language of Animals, and we got Caribou, which reads perseverance, resourcefulness, movement, and determination. Kind of came out sideways, so I'm going to read it both ways. And then at the bottom of the deck we have Blue Whale, which also came out in reverse. Unity, resonance, magnificence, and mastery. And of course, I've been so attached to the Theta Waves Oracle deck. We have creativity here and restock underneath it. So first thing that I picked up on was that Caribou is associated with the element of the earth. In this oracle deck, everything's separated by elements: water, earth, air, fire. And Blue Whale obviously is going to be water. And so when I was thinking about the Caribou being an earth element, within the tarot, the earth element is going to be more slow moving. It takes its time. It's something that can't be rushed. And then connected to the creativity card and restock, as well as this card of the Blue Whale, talking about mastery. And within the description, it talks about how long whales live for. So there's this wisdom gained over time, that kind of pairs really well with the symbolism of earth and what it's connected to within the tarot, and what I'm getting from the Caribou. Now maybe on your own you want to look into some of these animals yourself and see if anything resonates on that end, but it seems as though there's a message around taking your time with something so that you can become masterful within it. And it would be easy to say that it's something creative, but with creativity there's so many things that could be. So right now it seems like, I think the last reading was talking about feeling like you were creatively blocked per se. So with the restock card, with this being empty, it seems like, again, this feeling of something new being at the drawing board. I'm getting the image of like a dry erase board that's empty, or this feeling of like a blank canvas, and that being maybe intimidating and overwhelming, because something about a blank canvas or being creatively blocked or not having some sort of initial idea or plan of what you want to do can make things seem as though they're going to take way longer than they need to. Other thing with earth sign, or talking about the earth and what it could symbolize, could also mean, which we talked about in the last reading as well. It's been a couple days since I've done a reading, but it seems like we're kind of like layering on these themes, or some of these things may be a reminder that you need to hear, is the importance of foundation. When you're standing on earth, you feel supported. So there's something about needing a support system and structure, which sounds maybe a little bit boring to you, but there's something here creatively that is meant to fill you up, and something that should be woven into your daily routine and into your daily life. And maybe it's a practice that you're wanting to master, but the other word that sticks out to me here with the Blue Whale card is resonance and unity. So it feels like there's some sort of need to merge yourself, or some sort of unifying gift isn't the right word, but it feels like this practice or this thing that you're drawn to that may take time to develop, there's something about it that is going to unify you or make you feel more whole within yourself. Something about confidence is coming up too, like you investing in this can be emotionally fulfilling. And which is funny with the restock card. There's with water here. Water can be connected to emotions, also can be connected to creative exploration or even romance. I don't really get much romance right now from what I'm looking at, but it just seems like, hmm, that's interesting. With me saying I don't feel much romance, there's something here that seems like a solo venture. Um, like there's an internal unification. Is that a word? There's this, when you think of union, you think of two people, but it feels like there's parts of you that need to be unified, and it could happen. The potential of that happening is through this medium, through this creative thing, through learning something and committing to something. Yeah, I hate to sound redundant here, but this must just be something that you need to be reminded of. And so there's another card that comes up behind Blue Whale, and it's the Condor, which talks about cycles, reflection, perspective, and release. So here, this card is interesting, and behind Restock is Banish in reverse. So there's something here around releasing. Maybe this activity would help you release some old baggage, or maybe there's some emotional things within you, some heartbreak, maybe not necessarily romantic, but some sort of betrayal or heartbreak that might be adding to this creative constipation or this like mental congestion or energetic congestion. There may be something that you're needing to purge. It feels too like there may be a feeling of frustration of not always feeling motivated or not always having like sustained energy. And consistency can look different for everybody, but if you have a schedule of showing up, um, and then other smaller ways that you can show up even a little bit when you have less energy, those things are important. So this, when I'm saying all this goes into like that earthliness coming back into your body, understanding what you need, and then the water showing up too in the Blue Whale, where you're reading into your emotional body as well to understand what you emotionally need so that you can be able to show up more consistently. If all of those things are a mess, it's going to be a lot easier to back out of commitments, um, which also is another important thing is the consistency here. Okay, this feels a little bit newer because I'm like, damn, I'm really repeating myself. The consistency here isn't just about building the thing, it's also allowing you to build a sense of confidence, self trust that may not be here at the moment. So, self doubt, and I feel like I've heard this in a lot of different places or different talks, podcasts, that the best way to, or one of the best ways to alleviate self doubt is to kind of commit to something and show yourself that you can say yes and you're not going to go and betray yourself on something. And the best way to do that would be devoting yourself to something or committing to something in some sort of way. But again, balancing that with taking some time at the beginning and the end of your day. I'm just seeing somebody tuning into their own personal cycles and what they're feeling, and through reflection as well, you're able to kind of see what your cycles are. It's like weekly, you know that, thinking of it like a monthly cycle. I know, for example, for women, luteal cycle is a week before the period, and that's when the hormones dip a little bit. So energy levels are lower, and that kind of continues and progresses into the week of your period where you're just like, oh my gosh, I really don't want to do anything. So maybe that week you pre-make stuff, like as far as food, because you know you're not going to want to eat. To not eat, that's crazy. You know you're not going to want to cook the week of your period, so maybe you set aside some money to order takeout or something like that. So just those sort of examples. And again, something like this, like food and the body, are very earthly things. So maybe there is some sort of emphasis on coming back into your body and out of your mind and what you think you should do or need to be doing, and etc., etc., etc. Yeah, again, it's like similar message with maybe a few more details. Once you connect with more physical and emotional things, nervous system is coming up here. Learning, I hope my camera's not shaking. Learning techniques, exercises, maybe yoga, something like that, that will allow you to relax, because it feels like in your relaxed and most joyous state, I almost want to say most content state, maybe not content, but in your more relaxed state, you're a very creative person. I almost feel like if you are creatively blocked, or whenever you feel like you're not as playful or as imaginative, or yeah, I think I've used all the words I can. Whenever that's happening, I think you can possibly connect that to a level of stress in the body, or I hesitate to say like some not imbalance, but maybe there's a little bit of nervousness or worry, and you can use that as a checkpoint in knowing like, okay, let me go back to the basics, because I'm feeling a little bit uneasy, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and again, it's not going to be perfect. That goes back to honoring your cycles, but I feel like your clue in knowing when there's some sort of imbalance is when you're not able to be as creative, as playful, as bubbly as you normally are. Yeah, it just feels like there's something still weighing on your heart that's here. That feels like maybe the main thing that's causing the stress and the creative blockage. Yeah, there's a need to re-nourish yourself, especially mentally, like allowing yourself to mentally relax. And I feel like there is there's an inability to see some potential opportunities that you could have, or even the opportunities that are already around you. Um, it feels like there's something connected to some sort of childhood memory that you're still hanging on to, or something that happened. It's like this feeling of nostalgia, something that has happened that is still affecting you now, um, and maybe even emotionally stunting you just a bit. Just a bit. It's like being emotionally frozen in time. Like, it almost feels like something recently came up, or something. I don't know. It feels like, so we have the Ten of Pentacles, Six of Cups, and Knight of Cups. It feels a little bit vague. It's kind of hard for me to touch on, but it seems as though there is a definitely a need for the mind to have an opportunity to rest. Like the mind is ruminating on something, could be related to, I don't know, some sort of like close relationship that you had that this is just not there anymore, or some sort of foundation you built in relationship with somebody that still kind of comes up here and there to this day, or still triggering you or affecting you emotionally, where it's just like, it just feels like there's an emotional freezing here. I don't know. It feels, it's kind of sad. Like it almost is like you lost your best friend sort of vibe. But it also feels like there's, with this Knight of Cups too, there's like a potential to alchemize it and utilize. That sounds really weird when it comes to like an emotional thing, but there's a way to move through this creatively. Like I'm seeing someone writing about it, creating a story about it, writing a song about it, singing, like something with the voice or your expression, like expressing yourself. And it feels too, with the Knight being here, like it's kind of raw and gritty and a little bit unpolished, the way that you're allowing yourself to move through this emotion. And again, the mind is separate from this, so there's nothing that's going to be super calculated, but it just feels like allowing yourself to be really raw and expressive in some sort of way to move through this. Okay. I'm at 20 minutes, which is pretty long, so I'm going to see if my phone will let me do one more card. We have potential gateway, and you see this heart. And again, I mean, it's kind of in the air, but there's this tree that's holding a lot of life and activity, again, with the earth. I feel like, and then be gentle with yourself also. Um, Again, there's like a reconnecting with this thing. It feels like it happened a while ago, but it also still feels fresh at the same time. There's something about connecting to inner child, to your heart, and to your body ultimately when it comes to this thing. And now I'm like, are you becoming a master over this specific situation, this emotional situation? Or does it go much further than that? I'm not really sure, but it looks like it could go either way, which is really interesting. Um, yeah, this be gentle. It almost looks like she either just finished crying or she's looking longingly out to something and she wants to cry. Like, it's just, like I said in the beginning, like, it feels as though this could be one of the things that's keeping you from progressing forward and what you want to do. And trusting this part of the cycle. And also realizing that you don't have to stop everything that you're doing. And you don't have to also believe that you're creatively blocked because this thing is going on. You can use this thing to push through it, to kind of heal you. You can be the master over these feelings in this situation by almost just embracing it, allowing yourself to fall into it and create something really beautiful out of it as well. Instead of pushing through, instead of using your mind or overusing your mind to avoid it, essentially. So, yeah. Well, I think that's everything.